the web and using new trends in education in schools, colleges, and universities make students willing to learn the language. The aim of this study is to review technology in English, learning activities, and internet communication tools which are being used lately by instructors and learners. It is quite clear that English has become a necessity today. We need it in different fields of life. फर्स्टली आई इंटरप्ट यू मैम रजिस्ट्रार सर ज्वाइन करेंगे तो मैं उनको इनवाइट करूं आप एक बार उन्हें कॉल करें इट्स माय प्लेजर टू ओपन दिस सेशन सो नाउ I would like to request Dean School of Liberal Arts and Languages, Dr. Gunjan Agarwal ma'am, to welcome all the dignitaries, respected speaker, and the participants. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ritu ma'am. Thank you very much. So very good afternoon to you all. As we all know, English is a global language, and we have seen a gradual development in English language since Chaucer's age in 14th century England. Now, in post-colonial age, English is no more a foreign language, as we have imbibed the spirit of this language and gave it a new color, or we can say Indianization of this language. In the light of new education policy 2020, the main emphasis is on interdisciplinary research and education, along with primary education in regional languages. Even then, higher education on cosmopolitan basis is possible when emphasis should be on translation of our regional classics into English, and one must be acquainted with the new trends in language as well as in literature. I hope this session will be very fruitful when scholarly observation will be shared by our respected speaker. Now, I wish to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Sudhir Narayan Singh ji. Dr. Sudhir Narayan Singh is a Banaras Hindu University alumnus, a bilingual poet, editor, critic, and a short story writer. Dr. Singh rendered his services at various reputed Indian universities, colleges, and institutes as English faculty and ELT trainer. Presently, he is serving as Associate Professor and Head, Department of Humanities and Management Science, Madan Mohan Malviya University of Technology, Gorakhpur, UP, India. Dr. Singh also offered his services to visually challenged students. His prestigious international certifications include TESOL's ELT Leadership Management Certificate, the ELT Leadership Management Certificate Program conducted by TESOL International Association, Alexandria, Virginia, USA, January from 19 to 21 in 2017, and English Language Teachers Summer Seminar in 2018 by the Department of Continuing Education at Exeter College, University of Oxford, Oxford, UK during July 22nd to August 4 in 2018, and many more. Dr. Singh acted as a resource person at HRDC DDU GU Gorakhpur, HRDC BPS WU Sonipat, UGC ASC GJUS NT Haryana. He attended over 50 national or international seminars or conferences and chaired technical sessions in them, including IIM Bangalore, BITS Pilani, SRM University, and other institutions of repute. His poems appeared in journals like Poets, International Rock Pebbles, and anthologized in The Enchanted World, Poets Paradise, The Fancy Realm, and Melodies of Immortality. He contributed 60 research articles, which are widely published by Indian and foreign publishers, and also edited 3 books. Post-Feminism in India, Myth or Reality. And his second book is Advanced Information Communication Technology in Engineering. And one more book, Kyun Jaruri Hai, Jati Unmoolan. He co-authored 2 books, Formal Letters, and the second one is Feminine Consciousness, Glimpsing Indian Perspectives. Moreover, he enabled first visually challenged student of the country to get admission to Faculty of Arts and Faculty of Social Sciences, BHU Varanasi, India. Now, I would like to welcome, formal welcome to Singh sir. Ritu, I think I should make confirm what the problem is.
Yeah, ma'am. There is some technical issues with the registrar sir too.
Yeah, and we are very helpless when such type of problems we have to face.
Ma'am, unmute yourself.
Ritu, I'm talking to sir. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, ma'am. No problem.
He will be here within 2 minutes. Internet is not working there properly. That's why. So we can wait for him just for 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. No problem.
One good move makes all the difference. The
Ritu, in between, you can just invite.
One good move makes all the difference. The best way to predict future is to create it. Take a move. Create a future. Join Shobit University.
As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobit University. What about you?
One good move makes
Good afternoon, sir. Unmute yourself, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Sir, we are waiting for the speaker actually. There is some technical issues.
कहाँ से आ रहे इसी चीज की है ना
बाद में करा लिए फिर
यात्रा के परिवेश पर आप सभी अपने अपने स्थान पर खड़े हो जाएंगे। वे तब तक खड़े रहेंगे जब तक शोभा यात्रा के सभी सामान्य सदस्य अपने अपने स्थान पर न बैठ जाएं। मेरा सभी महानुभावों से निवेदन है कि वो अपने अपने स्थान पर बैठ जाएं। मेरा सभी महानुभावों से निवेदन है कि राष्ट्रगान के लिए अपने अपने स्थान पर खड़े रहें। दीपकाय नमस्तुते, दीपो ज्योति परम ब्रह्मा, दीपो ज्योति जनार्दना, दीपो हस्तु मम पापम, दीप ज्योति नमस्तुते। मेरा मुख्य अतिथि माननीय
आप बैठ
राज्यपाल
जाइए सब।
महोदय,
आप बैठ जाइए।
दीप अध्यक्ष नाइट सोसाइटी ट्रस्ट कुलाधिपति महोदय, कुलपति व प्रति कुलपति महोदय से अनुरोध है कि वे दीप प्रज्वलित कर दीक्षांत समारोह का शुभारंभ करें। महोदय से दीक्षांत समारोह के विधिवत आरंभ की घोषणा का अनुरोध करें।
मैं राज्यपाल महोदय से शोभित विश्वविद्यालय के प्रथम दीक्षांत समारोह के विधिवत शुभारंभ करने का अनुरोध करता हूं।
मैं शोभित विश्वविद्यालय गंगोह के प्रथम दीक्षांत समारोह के शुभारंभ की विधिवत घोषणा करता हूं।
मेरा कुल सचिव महोदय से निवेदन है कि वे कुलपति महोदय से अपना प्रतिवेदन व स्वागत भाषण देने का अनुरोध करें।
मेरा माननीय कुलपति जी से अनुरोध है कि वे अपने प्रतिवेदन की प्रस्तुति के साथ स्वागत भाषण देने की कृपा करें।
अतिथि देवो भव। एष्याम न विद्या न तपो न दानम न चापि शीलम न गुणो न धर्मम ते मृत्युलोके भुवि भारभूता मनुष्य रूपेण मृगाश्चरन्ति। समारोह के मुख्य अतिथि माननीय राज्यपाल उत्तर प्रदेश श्री राम नाईक जी, नाई सोसाइटी ट्रस्ट के अध्यक्ष व श्री जेपी माथुर जी के ट्रस्ट के मैनेजिंग ट्रस्टी डॉक्टर शोभित कुमार जी, समारोह की अध्यक्षता कर रहे माननीय कुलाधिपति कुंवर शेखर विजेंद्र जी, मानक उपाधि के विभूषित विद्वान, आमंत्रित अतिथिगण, शिक्षक वृंद, विश्वविद्यालय सभा, कार्यकारी परिषद व विद्वत परिषद के सदस्यगण, विश्वविद्यालय परिवार, पत्रकार बंधु एवं उपाधि प्राप्तकर्ता विद्यार्थी व शोधार्थीगण। सहारनपुर जनपद के ग्रामीण अंचल में स्थित शोभित विश्वविद्यालय के प्रथम दीक्षांत समारोह में आप सभी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन। आज का अवसर हम सभी के लिए एक महत्वपूर्ण व स्वर्णिम दिवस है। प्रस्तुत दीक्षांत समारोह विद्यार्थी जीवन
Yeah, Singh sir, it's audible to you? Sudhir sir, please unmute yourself.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
अभी ठीक, thanks.
So,
Okay.
firstly, now we have with us our respected registrar sir, Professor Mahipal Singh. Sir, may I request you to share your valuable words with us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ritu Sharma ji. First of all, very good afternoon to all and one present in this webinar. Chief guest, Professor Sudhir Narayan sir, Professor Gunjan ma'am, Dean School of Liberal Arts, and all the students. As you know that English is very important now. I will say only one thing, that in this globe, without English is nothing. I hope today's this webinar, this workshop, really will be very helpful to all the students. And just I will wish my all the best, good, that congratulations to Department of the Liberal Arts, to Gunjan ma'am, to Ritu ma'am, and all the students. And I am very thankful to Dr. Sudhir Narayan sir for sparing his valuable time and sharing his idea and motivating to all of us. Thank you, Ritu ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable words.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, Sudhir sir, in this session, and give us your valuable time for us.
Okay, should we start now?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
First of all, I would like to feel very sorry that because of this technological hitch,
It's okay, sir. We understand.
we couldn't connect. But at the outset, I was vigilant at the beginning of the talk that inaugurating connecting video that was talking about something with the vision of developed India, why to join Soviet University. That line I listened with great care. And I would like to begin my talk with the same connectivity. For that purpose, I would like to begin with a quote of APJ Abdul Kalam sir, and that he wrote India 2020, a vision for new millennium. And really, when we talk about liberal arts and sciences, so art is something that appeals to our heart, whereas science and technology appeal to our intellect. But the overall purpose of all three together, how to make complex simple, how to simplify human life, and how to, add value to the same. So in his book, A Vision for New Millennium, India 2020, A Vision for New Millennium, in the preface last paragraph, uh, Kalam sir wrote a line, and he said that ignited young minds, that was phrase at the beginning when you used, ignited young mind, we feel are a powerful resource, and powerful resource in is mightier than anything on the earth, under the ocean, and in the sky. So let us all work together to convert this developing India into the developed India. And the revolution for it required to begin from our minds. And in that mega fate of mind, in that mega amalgamation of mind, in that mega sangam of mind, let me extend my heartfelt best wishes to all those who are working behind the successful execution of such series of lectures, and the title co-learning. Why co-learning? And is so important nowadays, because at the end of the day, word will come at the single forum and equal platform, and there these talks will matter. So while introducing this talk, New English Trained in Language and Literature, at the outset, when we look at this title, an expert may say that there is a mistake in the title itself. But it's not like that. Because if you want to be grammatically correct, the sentence you will read like new trends in English language and literature.
Very
New
true,
trends
sir.
in English language and literature. But it's not a mistake. It's a deliberately used pun on behalf of the host and organizers. Why? Just to widen the horizon of the talk. Now, how the talk horizon is widened. When we say new trends in English language and literature, our range of the talk is only English language. But when we say new English trends in language and literature, so all together it is like a lot many rivers are coming to amalgamate in the ocean, and where any language of the world that come into the contact of English, and how that particular language is being influenced. And there lies the beauty of the title of the talk. Then I would like to share that, Hindi, English, Urdu, Sanskrit, French, Latin, even in German, any other language, words, when we look at the basic dictionary of English, it was only handful of words at the beginning of the this language. But today this language claims to have the largest word compilation in its dictionary. And quite surprisingly, because I would like to use here culture and contact, these two terminology particularly. Like when we came to contact of any other language or any other culture, all together language it start influencing us. Language is the, let me make a statement, very powerful statement at the beginning of the talk, that language is the property of central nervous system. It is when we talk that how language can be the property of central nervous system. You might have seen a person many a times in movies that a character makes an accident, and after a few times when he is hospitalized and he gets back his consciousness, he is in coma, suppose that. And even at that time, he is not able to recognize anybody, but still he is having his one property, that is mother tongue. And he says, he's trying to inquire at where am I, मैं कहाँ हूँ. और वो he is not able to realize, identify people, identify place, identify location, but language is still with him. Second example, justify this line that how language is the property of central nervous system. I would like to give you one example, share one example. And who has lost his reason, a man who to behave and how to behave and where to do what. Suddenly he feels like singing, he starts singing. He feels like jumping, he starts jumping. But still that madman is having one property intact, that is his language. And here lies the beauty of language. So before moving further, when I said that horizon is broad and time itself has shrinked somehow because of this technological intervention, let us very quickly to look at certain definitions of the language. How the linguistic expert, they look at the language and how does it frame our personality. Then we will move to the trends of new English trends. How does it percolates? And my key focus will be French, Latin, Hindi, Bhojpuri, Haryanvi, etc. Urdu and even sometimes Sanskrit. How these are getting influenced by this language. And first definition of language I would love to give of Henry Sweet. Henry Sweet is a linguist who defines language as the expression of thought by means of speech sounds. When I would like to say expression of thoughts by means of speech sound. What is exactly happening? I am releasing an air vibration. With the help of technology, it is reaching to the eardrums of the listener. And only that air vibration that is throbbing at the listener of vibration is reaching the eardrum of the listener, is creating a lot of meaning. It is conceived with a of meaning. What I am, here comes the beauty of the language. When we talk about, so language may be defined, first definition by Henry Sweet, as the expression of thought by means of speech sound. Then second definition of language I collect, that is volume 13. Language as a system of conventional spoken or written symbols. One symbol may be, identifying one thing in one language and the other thing in another language. For example, if I say SWAN, this spelling is having another one meaning in English, but if I say exactly the same, it's having different meaning in different language, Sanskrit. So if we are going to decipher like that, so it's a spoken or written symbols. When we use the symbol 6 digit in English, not exactly the same, 6,000 English and 7,000 in Hindi. If we try to 6 and 7 correlate, we will find a lot of similarity in that particular symbol. If I am using 4 in English and the 4 symbol in Urdu is similar to, if Urdu experts are there, they will confirm it is similar to 6 in Urdu, 4 in English. So how symbols, one speech community may use one symbol for a particular thing, but the same and the same we talk about this encyclopedia, this dictionary, by means of which human beings as member of a social group and its participant in its culture used by Encyclopedia Britannica, and it's where we can see language, another dimension of the language. And again, let me safely commit, language is the carrier of culture. Language stands as the carrier of culture that passes set of values from one generation to the another generation. Then how about the another definition when it comes, our registrar sir said, that Professor Mainpal sir, he said that there is nothing left for without English language. And definitely it is the lingua franca of the era. And here I would like to express one statement again very safely and very, very beautiful statement. Language is the expression of personality in words. Language is the expression or is spoken. So how beautifully expressed that kind of, we can easily come decipher the meaning that the person may be from literary background or maybe from man of literature. If a person is using military language or abusive language, so at that time the person may be considered that by the use of certain words, he may be considered that he is a military man. The language of the police, rustic language, elite language. So based on even inside language, there are multiple diversification. And even inside the language, the kind of value we are going to associate to a particular symbol will define the meaning. How about an example for this? We all know Hindi, or and even languages in English, we are well versed at least. When we talk about rose as a flower, so what does the connotation of the rose is coming to us by using the term rose? I would like to, inquire about it, that when I say rose, so we have at least 2 declared persons from literature, Ms. Ritu and Dr. Gunjan. So ma'am, if you don't mind, when I say rose, so what does it indicate to you? Will you please share to me the connotation of that term?
Sir, of
Please
course,
unmute
beautiful
and share.
things, but yeah, of course, when we talk about rules, so there are some beautiful things, emerge in my mind. And when I just go through the poems of some other poets, a sick rose. When I went through the poem, a very different type of imagery, came into my mind. And there are so many things related to rose. But, it's a problem with sign and signifier and signified. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. So again, Ms. Ritu, how would you respond to this? When I'm talking about a rose, just a rose, I have used the term.
As usually ma'am is saying correct, all good things and some
Beautiful thing.
beautiful things, imagination, we can imagine some things like this, that some beautiful aspects. We are listening, we are imagining in that in our mind at that time when
So
we are listening about rose.
thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your feedback. Yeah, wonderful.
Yes.
So thanks for your nice feedback, both of you. I would like to say that a person who is very fond of rose, if you recall the line of William Blake, a rose is a rose is a rose is a rose. So what kind of fondness is being, and imagery and repetition and beautiful things are there. But let us try to look into the Marxist angle as used by an Indian author. Like I am using Abe Sunbe Gulab. Abe Sunbe Gulab Bhool Mat Gar Pai Khushbu Rango Aab खून चूसा खाद का तूने असिस्ट डाल पर इतरा रहा capitalist. Can you see the kind of capitalist imagery, and the radiance of that rose becomes here a different kind of signifier, and it is being illustrated by a fertile mind who is having an orientation of Marxist ideology. So how that rose becomes so brutal over there.
Definitely.
Assist dal par itara raha, capitalist. So you will realize that how a particular term, how a particular symbol carries a different meaning. Similarly, if we go to, I don't go in much into deconstruction because it will become too linguistic talk and too literary talk. But when again, I would like to say red. Red is the symbol of what? So when you talk in the terms of traffic, stop. But whether the question is always red means stop. So if somebody is wearing a red cloth, red fabric, people will stop. If some building is painted red, people will stop. So where lies the meaning of red? Based on that, we need to go and identify and decipher contextual meaning. For example, meaning doesn't lie in text. Now again, another challenging conclusion of the discussion at this point. Meaning doesn't lie in text. Meaning lies in context. In the context that we are using a particular text, meaning is there. So only interpreters and experts say that 7% of the meaning lies in the words only, vocal. And when we are going to talk, when we are talking about how meaning lies in the context, somebody has said, I am using the example, sun is setting. Text is, I quote, sun is setting. And unquote. 3 words. When we look for the meaning, and if the same sentence is said by, some rishi thousands of years ago in Indian context, you will realize that disciple will try to draw the meaning that it's a time for Sandhya Vandana, and they will try to collect all puja things and flowers, and they will try to go to river bank, and they will try to prepare for that. Then they will say, sun is setting has the meaning that you should, for the disciples, if the Guru is telling to be ready for Sandhya Vandana, to go to river and puja archana and evening puja, etc. But the same sentence, sun is setting, is said by the gangster to his, other gang man. What does the meaning? Sun is setting means it's time to be prepared for the 2-night robbery. Sun is setting. 2 night robbery, and then all the rest of them will start preparing katas, chakus, churas, whatsoever for, and they will start collecting and they will try to go for robbery and etc. Same thing. If the same phrase sun is setting is said by a lover to his beloved, so again it will have a lot many romantic connotation and the romantic meaning. So the phrase is the same, an intellectual setting is there. Let me travel the journey of that the British, connotation of similar sentence. Sun never sets in British Empire. Sun is not setting here. And what does it mean? For a Britisher, sun never sets. Now let us look at the new English trend or English trend entering into, Indian discourse. So how do they apply this sun never sets in British Empire? And then let us talk. I will be shifting. There will be a shift in my talk immediately after, and pardon me if I spill over a bit. I request you to extend the timing of the talk so can I may do justice with the topic given to me. It's a really very wide topic and it has a great scope of discussion and it may generate a lot many thoughts over there.
So please carry on, please.
Yes. So, language, another thing. Language is universal medium alike for conveying the common facts and feelings of everyday life and philosophers searching after truth and all that lies in between. Who is coming into the discourse? Great grammarian C.L. Rain. Rain Martin, we all are aware. So this is the opinion of C.L. Rain. Language is a natural human growth. Natural human growth. You might be surprised to know how language can be a natural human growth. If I am talking about language as the natural human growth, so I mean that in childhood age, we talk in a different language. In adulthood, adolescent, we use different language. And in maturity age, we use different language. Let us, classify with the barriers of time and age and human life age. You might be surprised to know that all the abusive language that we learn, हम सब जितनी भद्दी से भद्दी गालियां सीखते हैं, mostly 8th to 10th, 10वीं क्लास तक सीख लेते, age approx class 8 to 10, high school abusive language you can say it is called. Then after that intermediate, we learn another abusive set of language and then we try to filter accordingly. Abusive language we start filtering. Then when we come into the graduation, we start using different set of abusive language, and when we enter into the higher education, we gradually try to keep ourselves away from that sort of abusive language. So we find that it's a natural human growth, partly mental and partly physical. And even then there are other stimulus. When we talk, एक बच्चा अगर पुलिस वाले के घर में पैदा हुआ और पापा बहुत ज्यादा जो है क्रिमिनल्स को डील करते हैं, तो वो जो भी दिन भर में करके आएंगे, by the time of the evening, his frustration, his depression will definitely fire back on his kids, and kids will start learning that kind of abusive language. That is another stimulus sort of thing. So language is the natural human growth, partly mental, partly physical. It flows therefore that it never ceases to change. See the beauty, and thus it remains in a constant state of flux. A fountain. When we look at the fountain, its shape remains the same, but the water is changing constantly. So that there lies the, the shape of the fountain is language, but language is constantly either influencing human being or being influenced by human being. And that sociological and socio-cultural marriage of the language to society and culture can never be seen in isolation, means that can never be divorced. They will always remain together. Right now in modern India, how terms are coming and going out of the English and getting, or any language, and getting obsolete terminology. When Again, this is new English trend in terms of culture or dining habits and dining etiquette. Earlier in India, dining was a very very pious sort of activity. आप जमीन पे बैठ के अच्छे से everything should be arranged, and then you will start taking your time. But what happens, this kind of contact with English people, there remain now two friends feel, and so their affection is by eating in the same bowl or eating in the same plate. So in some time in Haryana, I have seen two close friends taking chai, sipping tea from sipping one from this side, other one from that side in the similar cup, because they were not having two cups of tea, and they are feeling so friendly and so elated and so happy that they are so sharing and caring of each other. So that way, I found that when we talk about a concept of oath, something jutha, so that, but it is no longer in practice, it is out of the stock of the language, because this term doesn't mean anything nowadays, where the culture is already convinced and convincingly converted to buffet and other dining manners, where people love to people nowadays express their emotions so loudly. This is again English trend, and they try to. Otherwise, earlier there was great, you can say, particular term lihaj, and they used to stand together, not stand together, even husband and wife, they used to walk and maintaining proper distance in village. And but at this point, that is to change, thus it remains in the continuing development in a constant state of flux. Here, I would like to close the part one of the discussion. Then I would like to move to the language. Is the I have already discussed the next part, language as the property of central nervous system. Then I would like to discuss language versus human growth, the kind of when technology will come. See, before industrialization, or in old era, what happened, imagery of beauty was different, and then you know rivers, birds, and then other things. But nowadays, imagery, even images are for beauty, for love, for affection, they are being used. New imageries are cropping in to the discourse of literature. And these imageries are, influencing us like anything. Um, Something like images like tandoori murgi and something like these are coming into the discourse. Patalemis Kolse, something like that. These images are coming into the discourse of Sringara in literature. And this is not only up to that level. This is up to the level of, contextual discourse, how we are bringing in. And it is not like that, we are only changing. Other side of the globe is also being influenced by the language. Let me, sir, Reshtar sir, 2018, I visited University of Oxford and to attend a training program over there in Oxford University. So what happened? I was surprised to know that their pronunciation level is also changing, and they are adopting instead of following only RP of the British English. They are also ready to change, and they are, and sir, it's a wonderful matter of pride for us that rector of the Oxford University in his closing speech said that I'm sorry that if I will have a grudge after the end of my life, I will go to Almighty and say that why did he not bless me to understand the language ability of Hindi? ऑक्सफोर्ड का रेक्टर बोलता है कि मुझे अपने जीवन से कोई सिखा, बट इफ आई विल towards the end of my career, I still have a grudge कि मेरे को हिंदी नहीं आती और क्यों नहीं आती. That's the beauty of language. And he said that in 1980 I enrolled myself to learn Hindi and Urdu, to learn a course, and the course name was Urdu Hindi Bol Chal. Name of the course, communicative Hindi, communicative English, that we are teaching like anything. He enrolled in 1980 to a course, Urdu Hindi Bol Chal, but he said that I couldn't learn more, and only that is one failure that keeps hitting my mind, and throughout of my life I will have this grudge. So how languages are impacting other side of the globe, it is not they in isolation, rather everybody is coming together. So language versus human growth, if I would like to use a quotation here by Amiri Baraka. Amiri Baraka is a revolutionary writer of America. Let us move towards Oxford to US, UK to US. Let us change the discourse. So what is happening? Success means growth. Growth means change. People fear change because it undermines their stability. Then same Amiri Baraka said, Leroy Jones said, that no society is going to change itself. We need to force change. We need to force change. Society will not change itself. Now here I would like to use really a visual imagery. I would like to give an example of force. Clear? How to force change for the societal change. In my hand, if you can see, I'm having an egg. Clear? There can be two kind of force applied over here. What that two kind of force may be applied over here? One is external force and the other one is internal force. If I am applying the external force, I am breaking a life. But if the force is coming inside out, means there lies the difference and application of the force. If force is applied outwardly, so if we are going to force this change and force is outer, on the outer layer, I am breaking a life. But if the same force is coming inwardly, so a life will sprout out of it. I will be making a life. Similar is the case of language. and how to apply force internally and how to apply force externally. We need to be very, very careful about it. And then I would like to, I have already discussed culture and contact. Then this English trend, sir might be aware about it because it's a commonly known fact. I am going to apply this, how this force for Indian civilization applied outwardly and how was it applied inwardly. See, before 1835, India was almost a closed nation. Only contact was Urdu, Hindi. Medium of instruction was Urdu and Hindi. And Britishers were trying to influence Indians to learn English. Or they were trying, and if I am talking about that time, see, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and few areas of Afghanistan, that was the pan-India, whole India. So at that time, they were handful of Britishers trying to rule this nation. For that purpose, and for making anybody a slave or subject, one need to demolish the educational structure of the nation. For that purpose, Macaulay tried to travel all across the India, and he said that I have traveled all across the nation at stretch via railway network available, and I couldn't locate even a single big person begging on, though they were barefoot, they were poor, but I couldn't locate even a single beggar at any railway station or any place. See the kind of India we were having at the time. And then he said, in order to administer such a vast colony as India, vast colony, Upanivesh colony here, in order to administer such a vast colony as India, we need to create a group of people that will be Indians in colors and complexions, but Britishers in taste and choices. They will be, and what was the objective of that? And then they will be Britishers in taste and choices, and they will work as interpreters amongst us and millions. Us, Britishers and millions we people. They will work as interpreters between us and millions. And with this vision, Macaulay Minute came in 1835. There they tried to apply the force outwardly. And what was the result? Natural disruption, opposition for English as language. People like Bhartedu Harishchandra, thinkers, great thinker, father of Hindi essays, and Pratap Narayan Misra, they started writing like Japo Nirantar Ek Juban, Hindi, Hindu, Hindustan. They started writing like that. This is where distaste for English started creeping into the mindset of the Indians, and people started revolting it. And then, imagery in literature, even in, post-independent India, survive like that. When somebody wants to symbolize the politeness of the language, so there comes hai uski juban Urdu ki tarah. So that way, Juba here language, hai uski juban Urdu ki tarah. So Urdu becomes the, sweetest language for expression. Even, the language of Braj, Awadhi, Bhojpuri, Haryanvi, everywhere people were talking about everything Indian, and then they were glorifying that kind of nationalistic feeling and other things. Many things started creeping into the veins of people. And till, every Indian monument, every Indian established values were demolished step by step. Even all religious poets would like, they started using the term Kabir Das, Surdas, Tulsi Das, Das, that term. See how that title indicating the slavery of India. Then moving to the next step, in the post-independent India, you will find such people, such orators, religious orators, जो कि प्रवचन करते हैं. Suddenly, in post-independent, post-colonial era, they became swamis. All these gurus became swami. So that terminology, that language, and you might be thinking that how they are, nobody is writing like Das, Ray Das. Nobody is using, whether it is Rahim or Tulsi, Das was mandatorily suffixed with their name. So coming to that era, then Macaulay forced it, and then there came a theory better when there came a theory of feminism and gynocriticism that started its origin from 1880 to 1920, 1920 to 1960, and then first wave feminism, second wave feminism, and third wave feminism. Why is it so? And it was percolated in our brain that feminism starts from there. Again, new English trend. Why can't we draw back the line of feminism from the origin of Rani Lakshmi Bai? 1857. Why 1880? Why can't we draw the origin of feminism to Mirabai even prior to that, when there was a lady raising voice of highly feudal society of India and declaring the life of the husband, and Mirabai declared that mere to Girdhar Gopal dusro, and even after the demise of her husband, she declared Sri Krishna as her. So height of spiritual freedom, Mirabai. Why can't we drag the line from that? No, because this lady Ellen Walter said, we are accepting. We are accepting. This is English trend again, and we are following it in the similar vein. And then post-independent era, or you can say post-colonial era, rather right term to use. But before that, I would like to bring into the picture great Indian thinker Mahatma Gandhi. In young India, way back before the this Indian independence, Mahatma Gandhi ji wrote an article in Young India magazine, and he wrote that Gandhi ji said that I have already observed that my fellow Indians and certain families are adopting English as their first language, and people feel shy to bring their wives to public gathering, as they feel that they are not able to interact in English in the elite society. Gandhiji said, very great term he used there, that now English is considered as the passport to marriage. Passport is the exact term Gandhiji used. Passport to marriage, for having a better groom. And if brides are having better knowledge of English, it is considered that they will, and a better lifestyle is ensured. See, the Gandhiji thought it in pre-independence era, but still, what I feel that force was applied outward. After 1947, practice started. You know, I am here with a syringe also, you can see. Sir, I have used it in one of the research paper. Ms. Ritu ma'am and Dr. Gunjan, you might be realizing, I am having syringe in my hand.
Yes,
And you know, I wrote one imagery in one of my published research paper, where I wrote that in pre-independent India, in colonial India, English was forcefully injected into our veins. But in post-independent India, English, we ourselves are injecting English into our veins to counter the diabetes of liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So now the trend, that force that started being applied outwardly, we started welcoming it by our choice and injecting the same into our vein as the in liberalization. The discourse comes that you know, India missed the bus of industrialization. Industrial revolution India में ठीक से आया ही नहीं, because we were British subject, British colony. जो industrial revolution का, the kind of benefit that we were supposed to have with us, we were not able to avail that benefit of, you know, industrialization. So how, you know, in English started being introduced in 3 layers. English as language via grammar teaching, English as, you know, subject via literature teaching, English as medium of instruction. If they try to, you know, test us in 3 type of language laboratory: English as language, grammar teaching, English as subject through literature or certain selected chapters, and English as the medium of instruction. And then we realize that when Karl Marx was the voice, major voice of revolution, he started giving theories, and his theory was predominant and prevailed in his time, and even followed after him in the nations for, and that was the probably greatest organized voice, but he used violence as the tool of autonomy and tool of economic liberty. That's why Karl Marx, you know, sometimes despised in certain countries. लेकिन जब भी इकोनॉमिक्स की बात आएगी, कार्ल मार्क्स and Marx failed, but a derived form of Marxism prevailed. And similarly, you will find even Gandhi and Marx. There is a book and a research conducted by some scholar in Bihar, and he said that Gandhi and Marx an ethico-comparative study. So you will realize that how these things. Gandhiji was also agreeing that at least there is some person who thinks of the poor, who thinks that somebody having haves and have not, bourgeoisie and proletariat, but still he has some vision, structured equality in this society. That's what Gandhiji remarked. It is quoted in the book Gandhi and Marx. You know, this language, let us criticize language itself. Language is a masculine construct. And I think all intellectual elite people will agree with me. Language is a masculine construct. And when we talk about that masculinity, how can we call language as masculine? There are three genders: male, female, transgender. For transgender, even in Hindi, we don't have many words, no synonym. For man, a lot many. For women, even lesser. And when we say man is mortal, see what kind of connotation and gender equality and gender equity. Do you think that women are immortal? वो मरेंगी नहीं, उनके जीवन का कोई अंत ही नहीं. Or transgenders are immortal? How can we justify such language? Man is immortal. हमारे देश में हिंदी में भी आता है राष्ट्रपति. किसी जमाने में अब राष्ट्रपति प्रतिभा देवी सिंह पाटिल भी हो गई तो उन्हें क्या बोलेंगे? राष्ट्रपति. See the bankruptcy of the language, that we don't have a feminine word matching to that label, that where the ladies are already sitting. Majdoor, majdoorni. Again, we need to add certain suffix towards the end. So, if whether English, Hindi, French, any other language, they are masculine in nature. They lack feminine word, and even in the era of 5,000 years ago, Mahabharata, era of Mahabharata, see, Shikhandi can be a great warrior, Maharathi, उसके लिए शब्द यूज हुआ था. He was a Maharathi. But today in modern world, we can't expect any profession where we are having, equivalent. हमें या तो prefix या suffix लगाना. And sir, in Oxford University Language Research, a professor, John Hurd, you might be knowing, I met him over there. John Hurd said, now we are trying to change the dictionary. India में भी किसी को, when a pregnant lady is going to get a baby, तो क्या बोलेंगे? इनको लड़का होने वाला है. No will come. Though technology is there, ultra whatsoever government is imposing, but now people anyway by hook or crook they get it. No. Earlier when it was only a chance that whether it is going to be a baby boy, baby girl, there was nobody was daring to say a daughter is going to take birth. Ladki ka janam. No, neither even a expectation. And when a girl is taking birth, it was considered as a curse on the family. So there is लड़की का भी वहां पे क्या हो गया, बच्ची का भी उसमें suffix लगाएंगे. There is no root word. Women may be VO is the that prefix. So what is new research going on in our BA? First BA is a masculine connotation. So we should rather use THEY, third person plural, baby. Instead of using baby without predicting any gender, third person should be used, and they be. And then many terms have started creeping into the dictionary of English to make it how French were influenced. They all got French lessons from the schools. They imposed English over there. So there was a writer, he wrote Leonard Bladino. He wrote the last lesson, something like that, where the last lecture was being taught by the French teacher in the school, and signifying the importance of mother tongue. In British ruled India, even in Subhadra Kumari Chauhan come up with the poem signifying the kind of, Soje Vatan was a book and all its copies were, confiscated by Britishers, and the book was not allowed to come out of print. And come into print, it was pre-print confiscation, and everything was snatched by Britishers, seized it, they seized it. So signifying certain things, Subhadra Kumari Chauhan ji wrote that भूषण अथवा कविचंद नहीं, भर दे बिजली वह छंद नहीं, है कलम बधी स्वच्छंद नहीं, फिर हमें बताए कौन है कैसा हूं. They were the poet of Bhushan अथवा कवि वह छंद नहीं, and है कलम बधी. You cannot write independently. You cannot write for like books like Soje Vatan. And in there came a poetry. Britishers said that you start writing about the natural beauty, rivers, beauty, and other things. Why are you writing about revolt and all that? So there came another symbolic poetry and a song like that. तुम कहते श्रृंगार लिखो, युग कहता अंगार लिखो. तुम कहते श्रृंगार लिखो, युग कहता अंगार लिखो. And even after, if you look at the dictionary of very, very beautiful thing I would like to highlight here, Oxford Advanced Learner 7th edition dictionary alphabet M. 7th edition में आप जाएंगे alphabet M पे, you will find a few words of English. The Hindi is in the dictionary, like Maharaja, Maharani, Maharishi, Mahaut, and then Mahayana. All these terms by series, you will realize that whether this page is of Hindi dictionary or English dictionary. How? New English trend. But see, Maharaja, if you look at the real translation of Maharaja in Indian context, what will it be? Overlordship. Overlordship. But how can a Britisher accept overlordship of an Indian Maharaja? So what is the meaning of Maharaja? An Indian prince. See the kind of meaning bestowed to the term Maharaja, an Indian, not king, an Indian prince. And then when you look at the meaning of Maharani, so they will always use Her Excellency for Queen Victoria or Queen Elizabeth or their queens. Maharani is the wife of Maharaja, and Maharaja is an Indian prince. So they even they are not even using a single term for Maharani. So that is the way our language is also being ruled by them. Then Maharishi, Mahatma. For Mahatma, they were liberal. They said an Asian wise person or an Asian sage. Asian. But again, not in the global context. And Mahatma and something like that, Mahayana, Mahaut, all these terms are coming from there. But when these things, make us realize that how English trends are forcing us to think in their way, how they want us to wear the glass and look the world with their provided glass and not to challenge their set values and norms. And now, I use this syringe example that we injecting ourselves English into our brain. So when in post-independent India, when we started changing ourselves, putting pressure coming from inside out, so we started welcoming English like anything. The English that was opposed in, colonial past, become it. Post-colonial India started welcoming it like anything. And then what Macaulay wanted us to think our brain became the colony of them. How that our brain became the Sringara of the certain songs of India. Chandi jaisa rang hai tera, sone jaise baal. How our aesthetics is being, captured
Invaded,
and
yeah.
colonized.
Mm.
Clear that पहले क्या था? You will see Indian concept of beauty and you will read all the Bhakti Kal poets, Samvariya, Savala Salona. Then Lord Krishna, whether Lord Rama, Lord Shiva, Neelam Bhujag Shyamal Komalangam, something like that. And
Ritu, let me check what happened.
Network issues again.
Yeah, I'm just asking. He is trying to connect again. Uh,
Hello,
Hanji Akhilesh ji, please.
ma'am. Can we continue or we have to?
Sir, I think we should wait for 1 or 2 minutes so that we can just formally thank, express my gratitude. That's it. I have just talked to sir. So, 1-2 minute और देख लेते हैं.
Sure, sure.
हाँ जी sir.
It's overtime. It's 4:10 now. So should I ask the question? Yes or not? Ma'am, unmute yourself.
When Sar is available, he will reply. So
Yeah, easier.
Yes, please. Am I audible?
Yeah, sir. You are
yes, sir,
audible.
please. Yes, sir.
Sorry for inconvenience. And
It's
when
okay, sir.
then there came like a multiple concept of aesthetics and beauty, and a culture started coming together. And not only that, even in the songs like Bhojpuri, and that comes uh, that stretched its wing to Mauritius and other countries, and there came a lot many practice of code mixing, new compounding, and new code switching. Hindi cinema in the traditional past, you will realize a lot many words of English, they started creeping in. For example, I would like to share you one beautiful example of code mixing in Hindi cinema. Way back in the, I think, prox 15, 20 years back or even more. There was a line like, composition goes like, Hum tum pe itna dying, jitna sea mein pani lying. आकाश में पंछी flying, भौरा बगियन में गायing. So this is how code mixing started coming into practice. And very recently, a song came in Bhojpuri by Babuni. So by stands for here. It's a new code and new lingo developed and coming into percolating into our language. And we, senior people are, we are, new generation. This is millennial language, BAE. Uh, you might be surprised to know it's a, fully abbreviated name before anybody else. By Babuni, that Babuni is before anybody else. By BAE. So then B for before, A for anybody, E for else. Then rest of the countries, when Britishers we came into the contact of Britain, India was considered as Yoga Bhumi, and they were known as Bhog Bhumi. So there was a difference, a whole dichotomy and paradox of the lifestyle. Even inside America, if we go, though America is the strongest democracy on this earth, and we are the largest democracy on this earth, but in the American concept, expansionism, and expansionism in terms of physical world, expansionism in the terms of acquiring riches, materialism. American can survive without love, but an American can't survive without money, and they value two things: time and money, the most
Very
important.
true, sir. Yes, sir.
And their best literature came in 1930s, between the First World War and Second World War. That great economic depression was there. So an best American poetry will come, or literature will flourish when they are not having penny in their pocket. And best Indian literature will flourish when a prince like Siddhartha, a philosophy will come, who will renounce the palatial luxury and lavishness and come out to introspect in the serene environment and calmness of the nature. So that kind of dichotomy was there. But as I said again, third time I am showing you the syringe, that we are injecting their culture forcefully into our veins. How it is influencing us in terms this side of the globe. Now we are also dancing at their tunes. That
Very true, sir.
aesthetics of beauty, but now aesthetic of richness and acquiring wealth. How do we look at the newly emerging concept of life? Mere Mola lift kara de. Both Urdu and Hindi on the same tune. Mere Mola lift kara de. Mujhko thodi lift kara de. Gaadi, bangla, car dila de. All we want to have and praying for gaadi, bangla, car, ek nahi, do char dila.
Materialism, yeah.
So materialism is percolating into our veins, and hum usko forcefully apne. We are dancing at their tune. We are happy to have all these things,
Very true,
and
sir, yeah.
nobody is searching after truth, philosophy, and all that. And even see how this globalization, like LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization, and other things are influencing them. Henry David Thoreau wrote the book Civil Disobedience, and Mahatma Gandhi, we call that Mahatma Gandhi was purely Indian, representative of the Indianized thought, but it's not true. What is truth? Gandhiji was highly influenced by Henry David Thoreau, who wrote a book, Civil Disobedience, and see the punchline from Henry David Thoreau. H.D. Thoreau said, see, that literature again came just close to, 1930, something like that, the Great Economic Depression. So they are looking satisfaction beyond matter, and H.D. Thoreau is writing, there are professors of philosophy, but there are no philosophers. There are professors of philosophy. Philosophy पढ़ा के कबीर को पढ़ा के लाखों रुपए तनख्वाह लेने वाले प्रोफेसर बहुत हैं, लेकिन कबीर को जिंदगी में उतारने वाले नो फिलोसोफर. कबीर ने तो बोला घर में भरे पैसा, नाव में भरे पानी, निकाल फेंकना चाहिए. कबीरा खला बाजार में लिए लुकारी हाथ, जो घर फूके अपना चले हमारे साथ. They all Indian philosophy are telling that acquisition is bad. Acquisition is bad. Acquisition of wealth
Very
is
true,
bad.
sir. Very true.
But
Sir, actually,
here
that is-
again, we are dancing at the tune Khadi wa sumo hamar. ठीक है? Then matter, again property, riches. Then not only that, even in Haryana, Haryanvi, bat bolero mein, something like that, the literature is coming that way. And not only that, the kind of intoxication their literature is offering, like John Keats, if you remember and recall, Ode to Nightingale. So, my heart aches and a drowsy numbness pains my sense as though of hemlock I have drunk 1 minute past. 4 बोतल vodka, काम मेरा रोज. John Keats is transported to Indian soil, and we are not able to be creative until and unless we are drunk. Then after that, there comes technological intervention. I have been said that I need to wind up early so that we can take at least a few questions. This technological intervention and new life, how that these new words are coming day by day into our life. In December 19, a new compound word came into existence. आप चाहे हिंदी में बोले, चाहे इंग्लिश में बोले, N COVID-19. N for novel, CO for corona, VI for virus, D for December 2019. This is the new compound word for novel coronavirus, December 2019, and COVID-19. Novel, never before appeared, new, quite new, and then CO for corona, virus, and D for December. New word, never before it was used in the dictionary, but now each and everyone knows it, and corona made people to remember it. The kids who are even in 9th and 10th, lifetime, they will never forget this such type of life. Whole humanity is nailed down before that. Then medicine for corona is coming from Indian soil. New trends of English in Hindi. Covishield. that vaccination, Indianized vaccination, Covishield. And then I said that baby and Debi, THEY, Debi. So how new compounding words are coming. Etiquettes. Now, you know, citizens are now netizens, cyber citizens. See, I am, you know, talking almost virtually face to face to Dr. Gunjan Agrawal after
sir.
approx 13 years.
Very true, sir. Yeah.
13 years. And that too, credit goes to COVID-19
Oh my God. Yeah.
for
Of course, sir.
providing us this virtual platform to interact with face to face. So ICT, information and communication technology, could never flourish as much as it flourished during COVID lockdown. Only this method was available to interact with our beautiful students, handsome ladies and gentlemen, and beautiful ladies and young gentlemen. So this is available one. And otherwise, you know, our university campus, such a vibrant every year, gentlemen and ladies are coming, and you know, campus is vibrant. But now, what is into the picture? Like, you know, we are sick of it. Like, we are looking at the, see, use that term, Gunjan Agrawal, sick roads. And here,
Yes, sir.
we are left to be sick of this, you know, virtual reality, and that technology gave a hell lot of new terms. COVID-19 gave a lot many new terms. And then, you know, I would like to share certain Latin words, how they were accepted in English, like a very beautiful thing. See, democracy emerged, if you go by modern theory, I think in Greek. And then, you know, today we are the largest democracy and America is the strongest democracy on this earth. But the most beautiful definition of democracy is coming either from Urdu or from Latin. In Urdu, we call democracy Jamhuriyat. Jamhuriyat वो तर्जे हुकूमत है जहां बंदे को तोला नहीं करते, गिना करते. Such a beautiful definition of democracy. Jamhuriyat वो तर्ज ए हुकूमत है जहां बंदे को तोला नहीं करते, गिना करते. And Latin definition that is coming from for democracy, vox populi, vox Dei. Like, voice of the people is the voice of the God. Vox populi, people, is the vox Dei. In a democracy, voice of the people is the voice of the God. Then we can, Viva Voce exam we are using every time. And this became, you know, greatest tool for awarding scores in this COVID-19 period by Viva presentation and all. This is again from Latin. Then coming to the French terminology, adieu, genre, and you know, laissez-faire, a policy of not interference, and we, souvenir, keepsake. अगर जो है शायद ये virtually रहा होता, अभी souvenir का time आ रहा हो, that might have been approaching. But you know, so code mixing and code switching, and many at times this ICT, information and communication technology, the platform Zoom was now in Hindi also, Zoom. WebEx is in Hindi also, WebEx. And then you know, many other, Skype is Skype as it is accepted in Hindi. All these English terminology, new English trends are entering, amalgamating, and you know, flourishing like anything. And I would safely say here that sun never sets in British Empire, and coming back to that metaphor, sun never sets for English language.
Very
Now,
true.
all across the globe, English is being spoken, read, Nobel Prize, maximum prizes are being distributed and dispersed. And every day volumes of literature is coming. One more point I wish to add quickly. Like, earlier very long poem and literature, but now literature that is traveling in, WhatsApp, that is on Facebook. A lot many literature is coming. That is also literature now. And from Germany also, haiku came and traveled to India. Haiku, a poetry, a poem in 3 lines, and other guidelines are there. So how about that? Before closing the talk, I would share a small Hindi haiku with you that was very popular in Hindi. It is not written by me, definitely, but mm, haiku came in that way. Uh, like Purana Tal Kuda Mendhak Guru. Small poetry. People
Yeah.
are having little time to dedicate to these things, to leisure and life is being captivated by money, media, and modeling. For a lot many things, and this computer online teaching for us, for we people are involved in interacting a lot many ways. So being adaptable to these trends is only the option. And somewhere gone are the days when there were poets like Harivansh Rai Bachchan, though he was influenced by Brit culture also, because he did his PhD from UK. But without tasting a single drop of wine, he could wrote, compose Madhushala. And here, after taking a lot of wine, we are composing, this haiku and other small idioms and poetry, because there are a lot many distractors, this mobile, video games, blogs, etc. But we need to accept Smiley as pictographic language. We need
Very
to
true.
accept ILU as I love you. We need to accept a lot many trends and things. Uh, and if we want to stay relevant, otherwise, language is the natural human growth. It never ceases to change. So we will be also obsolete if we are not adaptive to the tune of this. So with these words, and thanks for providing me this opportunity, I'm really thankful to all the team of Soviet University, Honorable Registrar Sir, Professor Mahipal Singh Sir, and Dr. Ritu Sharma, and Professor Gunjan Agrawal, and overall Soviet University for providing me an opportunity to be available to avail this opportunity and talk to your forum and share my ideas with you people. Only that much I have to say. And I'm really sorry again for this technological inconvenience. And I really beg your pardon because of this
No,
trouble.
sir, it's okay. It's
And
No
okay. We
problem.
understand.
sometime it was, interrupted like anything. I was
So
helpless. I
really,
was thinking that whether I'll be able to connect it or not today. Then
Mhm.
anyway, we could come to a shore this journey together. We march towards the end, and here it is over to you all for question answer, quick round of question if they have any.
Thank
uh,
you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, ma'am, you are saying something?
You can see the
uh,
chats if there are some question.
Yeah,
there
sir.
are there are
Doctor.
some wonderful comments of all the participants, and they have posted some questions. I would like to ask, so what are the recent trends in language learning?
Yeah, wonderful.
Though you have already explained.
No, wonderful. Language learning and language teaching. When we come to the terminology in technical word, ELT, English language teaching. And teaching and learning cannot be seen in isolation. Uh, there are, two dimensions for learning mother tongue or other tongue. First is LSRW, time tested formula of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The day we are born, we start listening. It is by chance that we are born in a Bhojpuri speaking community, we will acquire Bhojpuri first. Or Hindi speaking community, we will acquire, had we been born other side of the globe. So listening is the mother of all speech. Nature has gifted us two ears and one mouth so that we can listen double and speak half. So, that's why that listening becomes the very, very prevalent thing. And in the most natural process, when a baby borns, he start listening. Then he start speaking. For listening and speaking, little training, or you can say it is natural, something like that. Then there comes reading, training part for identification of term. Once I was traveling, Hindi small speaking small girl, never acquainted with the Urdu but English. So you see in train poor families, for them there is a plastic book. Now plastic का किताब होता है उसपे सब A B C D A for apple Hindi English Urdu everything is written. So what did I do? I simply asked that little girl. She was telling A for apple. Mother is very happy. Daughter is very happy. Father is very happy. Again, she is telling B for boy, something like that. So I saw something that was written in Urdu. I said, what is this? So, that the acquaintance, not being born and brought up in that community. तो वो बच्चे का क्या जवाब था नेचुरल ये ना जल्दी में खिंच गया something was written in the Urdu ये जल्दी में खिंच गया something like that. So listening, speaking, then reading, then some more training is required for the writing. And then when you will talk about, Pearson came with the new research, Pearson Educational Survey, and they come up with the new research, L, S, R, W, G, and V, latest trend, grammar and vocab. For that purpose, if you want to survive, sustain, and grow in language learning scenario, so L, S, R, W, G, and V, grammar and vocab, these two things were added for language learning. Even beyond that, the more we will be, make listening to this second language, the more we will be able to speak it. Because nobody can speak a word correctly that he has never listened to or never came across in his life. Clear? Many terminologies are that for that purpose, we need to listen more. And then there is another thing, how to minimize MTI, mother tongue influence. Because certain sound symbols, they exist in one language, but they don't in another language. For example, gh sound doesn't exist in English.
Yeah.
When people, even r sound doesn't exist in English. So if you are talking like Ghoda, if you are talking like Ghanasham, for a Britisher, he will always try to speak Ghanasham, Ghanasham, or Ghoda or Ghora, but they won't be able to say Ghoda. So it's not like that they are poor at it, but it's like that some MTI influence if we are speaking their language. So many a times we are using this mother tongue influence. For example, in Bengal, people and Bihar, they use VOTE, vote. It is spoken to be spoken by lower lip and upper teeth, vote. But how do they speak? Vote. So it's like our professor in Banaras Hindu University, he used to tell that, why are you barking like a bega band in the veranda? So he was using to highlight that, exaggerate that MTI, mother tongue influence. Whereas we need to, in Bihar also, vote Marian. See, vote is also mixed in the this dialect and terminology, and it is accepted in Bhojpuri as well. So this is my answer. And there are multiple methods of language teaching. We are certain teachers. So we started grammar translation method to, bilingual method, to direct method, to audiolingual methods. And now what not a lot many, YouTube is another method. And this social media, learning language through them. that is there. So a lot many influencers are there through which we are gathering terms and practicing in our life. So visualization, I deliberately bring, said somebody to purchase this. This is a visual method to make you visualize. I said somebody that you go and purchase it for me. I said somebody to go to some laboratory and bring me syringe. Why it is that? Like just to visualize participants who will go from this virtual session, they will they may forget 80% of the talk, but they will remember that there was some professor who was sitting in his room with all
Very
these
true.
things. So they will carry it in their memory for the longer duration.
Sure.
Next question.
Sir, actually, there are many questions, many more queries, but we have some limitations, time limitations, you know very well. I'm really sorry for that. I cannot ask any other question, but
You can take one or two very quickly, one or two. Quickly, I will answer
Kunjan ma'am, please continue. Please continue.
Sure, sir, sure.
Very quickly, I will answer.
So nowadays, we use abbreviations, and how do you take these abbreviations like ROFL, LOL, LOL, etc.? And so, what is your opinion? At what extent they can be included in standard language, or should
A
we
very
call?
good question, and I would love to give two answers of this question very quickly. I will not elaborate. The same question I asked in Oxford University to John Hurt, a great grammarian who has written Oxford English Grammar. He said that if you are not accepting it, the whole grammar will be redundant in coming years because life will change at its pace. So today or tomorrow we have to accept it. But my answer as teacher, and this is, I think, probably your answer will be also, Ritu's answer will be also, Maipal sir's answer will be as teacher, that in India, if we are trying to be so adventurous in our experimentations, it may cause the students lose heavy marks because you never know that which examiner is having what mental status or what kind of mindset. It's a matter of mindset. Maybe down the line 10 years, it will come into literature, it is coming into the novels, it is coming into the, net lingo, it is coming into chat, WhatsApp, and email writing. But currently using it in the academic system,
Yeah, it's not
in Indian academic system particularly, it is too early. So my advice to the student, those who are student and participating, they should use among their friend. They may use, but they are not advised to use it in examination. This may cause losing marks. And definitely certain teachers are there, those who are highly traditional in nature, they will not bear it at any cost. But down the line 10 years, this will be accepted. Grammar has to change as gender studies are changing the dynamics of the grammar.
very true, sir. Yeah. And so people use abbreviations. I was so shocked and surprised when a student came to me and told me, "Ma'am, please give me my certies." I said, "What is certies?" He used certies for certificate. And people and students, children, they call their father pops. What is pops? Pop for papa. So such funny things are there. And sir, I would like to take one more question. This question has been asked by one of the deans in our college, uh, Professor Shrikant Gupta ji, and he is writing, Dr. Sudhir, now English is becoming English, being practiced by students in examination as well. What is common on this? It is deterioration of the language or new germination of the language? So what is your opinion?
We can't call it deterioration. Experimental side will always be open, and society is such a huge laboratory where experiments are
I think again there is some technical problem. Let me ask.
Coming back to the academics, in academic scenario, nothing is pure nowadays. The concept of purity is uh, nothing is pure, nothing is virgin. Uh, so is the language. Uh, in Britain, slogan for gender equality is used that my body, my choice. Here in India, we still, in certain cases, carrying the concept of purity, concept of virginity. Language is no longer a virgin island. Language is, contact and culture and theory of hybridity is already there by Homi Bhabhaji. And this language hybrid era. And people are there who are telling that why not BTech courses run in Hindi medium? Why not BTech courses can be run in Bangla medium? Why not BTech courses can be run in Malayalam medium? Because the kind of energy students are giving in learning English as a language, that much energy if they are going to give to their research in technical field, it will help them to invent more and be more and more innovative. So again, coming to the concept of purity, in language, there is nothing remain till now that is pure in language. Again, sir, you are dean and we are also in the academic stakeholders. So somewhere we need to establish a barrier. कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ हमको रोकना पड़ेगा. Otherwise, we cannot leave everything at the flow of the student कि जो मर्जी वो लिखे, जैसे मर्जी वैसे लिखे. So English, it is again a sociological experimentation. We won't be able to stop it. They will speak. गांव का एकदम अनपढ़ आदमी भी दिन भर में 10 शब्द जो है, हमारी जो मेड है बर्तन मांजने वाली, वो भी अब हम लोगों को पिज्जा बर्गर चाउमीन बोलना सीख गई है. तो एंड दैट वे इट इज आवर पैंट शर्ट हम बोल रहे हैं, पतलून कोई नहीं बोलता चाहे वो एकदम कितना भी अनपढ़ हो. तो वो इट इज इनसाइड आवर लैंग्वेज. Only thing is that acceptability and adaptability and usability. They are adamant to use it. We are somewhere drawing the barrier. We are somewhere drawing the line to stop it. कि इसको कुछ हद तक रोका जाए. And that will be, you can say, generation gap sort of thing. We will keep stopping them, and new generation will forcing us to use them. And that kind of intellectual tug of war, रसाकसी बौद्धिक चलती रहेगी. बट एंड ऑफ द डे इसका चेंज को हम रोक नहीं पाएंगे. ये आता रहेगा. बट एग्जामिनेशन में अगेन आई विल से इट शुड नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेड. अदरवाइज ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज हो जाएगा कि एक बच्चा पूरा इंग्लिश में लिखा, थोड़ा कम एक्सप्लेन कर पाया, और एक बच्चा इंग्लिश में लिख दिया, ज्यादा बेटर एक्सप्लेन कर पाया, तो हु शुड बी द टॉपर? और अगर आपने इंग्लिश वाले को टॉपर बना दिया तो ही मे कम टू यू एंड आस्क, सर मैंने कौन सा क्राइम किया था जो आपने मुझे कम. एंड दैट इज बिग क्वेश्चन. तो समवेयर हमें तो स्टिक करना पड़ेगा, फिल्टर करना पड़ेगा. तो दैट इज आवर जोन. बट चेंजेस विल कम. अभी हम प्योर हिंदी ना तो हम बर्दाश्त कर पाएंगे, ना हमारी सोसाइटी कर पाएगी. प्योर इंग्लिश भी नहीं अब जो है कोई बर्दाश्त कर पा रहा. एवरीवेयर इट इज अमलगमेशन. इंग्लिश डिक्शनरी इटसेल्फ इज द कलेक्शन ऑफ जितने इंग्लिश के रूट वर्ड हैं उससे कहीं ज्यादा. देयर आर वर्ड्स फ्रॉम लैटिन, ग्रीक, फ्रेंच एंड स्कैंडिनेविया एंड हिंदी एंड अदर लैंग्वेजेस, एंड पीपल आर एक्सेप्टिंग इट like anything. They are open. That's why their dictionary is rich. उनको सारे शब्दों को as it is accept कर ले. We are not able to accept. Shampoo, we know shampoo is the Indian word. हम जब ऑक्सफोर्ड में जाके पता चला कि शैम्पू इंडियन टर्म है, कहते Indians have a very strange habit. They use different gel for their hair and different cake for their body. They are very strange people. इंग्लैंड में वो एक ही यूज कर लेते हैं, उनका काम चल जाता है, चाहे वो जेल हो चाहे किंग. So shampoo is an Indian term. A lot many terms that are Indian, but we are knowing it by going there. So that is
True,
the
sir.
answer. Okay.
Ritu,
जी.
please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for grace the session. And मेरा आपसे एक क्वेश्चन है, क्विक आंसर अगर आप देंगे तो. Actually,
Sure. I would love.
we have many students with us now in this session. So मैं एक चीज नोटिस करती हूँ कि बच्चे ये कहते हैं कि मैम we can understand that what are you saying, what are you speaking in English, but we are helpless to speak in fluency. So some tips for the students, sir?
For spoken English,
Yeah.
for the spoken part.
Yeah, sir.
The main hard line of this question I answered already, that listening is the mother of all speaking. So the longer the time they are going to interact with British, the kind of English or Voice of America, or you can say this, even Discovery will provide them that English channels, news channels, they will provide them, great knowledge. I won't hesitate. मैं जब ऑक्सफोर्ड में गया था, वहाँ एक्सीटर कॉलेज में, आपको सरप्राइज होगा the kind of English we are using and the kind of English they are expecting. We are no match even as teachers. Name of the college in that university was Exeter College. Spelling was EXETER. We were calling Exeter College. We want to go to Exeter College. Just standing in front of the building, we were asking, where is Exeter College? And they said they were not able to respond. They were not following our English. And then somebody said, oh, you are asking Exeter?
Yeah.
It is this building only. So it is like that. When we are going to interact with those people and in that scenario, so only one thing is that now aspirating the words, now using like kind of knowledge, something like that, they have also stopped this practice, even inside Oxford. Aspiration is gone. Then, voice modulation up to that level. They are also talking like us. They said that it is not only you are influencing by us, we are also being influenced. And we want to come in the close contact of the word. So the longer you will be listening native speakers, the better speaking will come to you. And listening in communication theories are also applied over here. For example, Chinese whisper, there is a game, whispering game. Many a time we practice, and even Gunjan ma'am and we used to practice it a lot some way back in our teaching career, approx 13-14 years back. What was that? When someone will whisper something in the ear of some listener, then what was understood by the listener, she will or he will pass to the other one, then the chain will complete. So suppose that the first speaker said that, suppose that there is a statement, Delhi mein Qutub Minar. तो वो सामने वाला लास्ट में बोलेगा दिल्ली में कुत्ता बीमार है. Because in the whispering, that noise, because of the physical noise, psychological noise, or physiological noise, somewhere, and even cultural, understanding, things will change accordingly. And even see, we Indians are too traditional. हम अगर quarrel शब्द यूज करें तो आपके दिमाग में क्या आ रहा है? What kind of knowledge you are gaining by the term quarrel? क्या आ रहा है बताओ?
झगड़ा.
Yes, literally that kind of verbal heated debate, something sort of thing. In Oxford University, they have made a room, quarrel room, for teachers. You go there and have debate, as much as discussion as possible, and then you come out and nothing carry out from there, but debate as much as discuss as much as possible. I asked the professor that what do you do in this quarrel room? So she laughed and said, we quarrel here. We quarrel here. But here, if you are putting any name quarrel room in your university, so society will start taking completely altogether a negative connotation. कि अरे ये कितने झगड़ालू हैं, इन्होंने तो एक रूम भी बना रखा है झगड़ा करने के लिए. Clear? So something like that. So Soviet University cannot afford it, quarrel room. Even our university, Madan Mohan Malviya University cannot afford it, afford to have a quarrel room or name any room as quarrel room. But because cultural dichotomy, like high context culture, low context culture, they are low context culture. So low context culture, what you say is more important than how you say. But in high context culture, how do you say is more important than what do you say. So for that purpose, knowing, understanding their body language, you will realize that we need to have exposure. Not only that, our body language is quite close. Their body language is quite open. When you will ask or start talking to them, they will raise their hands like this, this facial gesture, even hand-leg movement, and they will not be sitting like that, simple, sober, and delivering the talk or listening the talk like we senior people are. Sir is seriously sitting, or you people are sitting, but they will be using like having cold drink. They will have snacks on the table in the lecture room, something like that. And then there are professors who will be disagreeing with that also. But the problem is that the more we listen, the better the more knowledgeable we will become. It is not only applicable to the spoken English, it is applicable to in the process of learning any kind of knowledge, any kind of knowledge. अच्छा श्रोता होना बड़ा कठिन है, बहुत कठिन है. And वो something is like that. Silence speaks volumes. दीवारों से उतर के परछाइयां बोलती हैं, कोई नहीं बोलता जब तन्हाइयां बोलती. So it's something like that. We need to understand the power of silence. We need to understand the power of listening, and we need to utilize it effectively to be effective learner of any language.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. आपने इतने अच्छे तरीके से इस चीज को समझाया. Well given examples. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to take finally I request Dean ma'am again for a vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ritu. I think I'm quite audible.
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. So it's my pleasure to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of one and all who directly and indirectly supported us on behalf of School of Liberal Arts and Languages and the entire family of Shobit University. First of all, my sincere thanks to Almighty God, and I give a really heartfelt vote of thanks to our respected speaker who spent his busiest time gracing the occasion. Today, we had the opportunity to hear your thoughts. Your scholarly observation will definitely give a new direction to all. And really, sir, I'm very thankful to you. Such a nice, wonderful, excellent, brilliant, how many adjectives I can use, I really don't know. So I feel, proud that I was your colleague. We worked together long back, really. I'm amazed when you deliver, your lecture on any topic. So your knowledge is very vast. So really thankful to you. Thank you very much, sir. And I'm grateful to our honorable VC sir and respected registrar sir for their words of encouragement. And I would like to thank all the participants and our organizing team, including our technical team members. Thank you very much. Thank you all. A very good evening to you. And Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Thank you.
Thank you from my side.
Thank you very much, sir.
Namaste, sir, Registrar sir, and
Thank you,
all
sir.
the
Thank you.
participants. It's a really a pleasure interacting with you all. And thanks for providing me this platform to interact. And thanks for giving such a wonderful topic where, scope is limitless. Scope is limitless.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.